What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Whatever's Biting podcast. We've had a little bit of a gap, but if you didn't know, me and Ethan actually fished together. I guess it's a few weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of missed it during that time I was traveling. But Ethan, what's up? What's up with you?
I'm good. Welcome back. Yeah, it's been a while since we've spoken on the old computer, but I sure had a lot of fun fishing with you, and I'm excited to kind of break down our trip and, well, your trip. It was local for me, and I do appreciate you coming up this way. Looking forward to kind of sharing some of the highlights, some of the things that worked well for us, and what our favorite parts were. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely going to break some of that down. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But first off, if you're new, please consider subscribing or whatever. But also, if you're old or new, we have started a brand new YouTube channel, and it's called the Whatever's Biting Podcast channel. So you can now go to YouTube, the Whatever's Biting Podcast channel, and find all of our episodes. Guess what? This is episode number 20. We got
Wow.
19 more episodes, easy to find. They're all in order. You can go back. Most of them are 45 minutes long. We have a few guests on them. I might be adding some more guests and doing some extra things that I might throw on there every once in a while. If we do a live stream, might turn it in, throw it on there.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something to go play, you can find it on YouTube now. We got currently 132 subscribers.
All right.
Obviously, we're going to try to grow that. Just try to get monetized over there if we can. Thought it might be easier if any sponsors want to sponsor that channel. You know, they can be like, all right, hey, we see the stats, we can go right to it. Also, I thought it'd be easier for most people to find. If they want to find us, it's not scattered throughout my stuff. But if you don't want to go there, you can go over to your favorite podcast places. Let's see here. Where are we at? We are
Spotify,
on
Apple.
Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon, iHeartRadio. I think that's our 4 we're on right now. And people been listening because we got some comments. So I'm gonna go over these couple comments from there because one of them was really funny. Now I gotta find it. Where's the comments?
Hey, you find the comments, and I'll say this. I think we need to do a live stream soon to kind of help get the new channel out there. So, folks, make sure to let us know if that would be something you would enjoy. I think we'll definitely commit to it. Do a live stream. That way we can kind of engage and we can handle questions in real time. But now I'm sure by now John has found the question. I'm excited.
Maybe during the winter time, maybe easier to do live streams. Maybe we'll do an extra one or two if it's kind of it's colder and people want to just sit inside. So there's a guy. It doesn't say the name on this. This is through the Buzzsprout thing, and it says from somebody from Maryland, Catonsville, Maryland, says, "Are you boys still recording podcasts?" That was September the 15th. Answer is yes, but we just had a little gap. So we might actually have more stuff now. So we got one from New London, Connecticut. We'll talk about this real quick. What do you guys think about the time of day you go fishing? Is early morning best? Evening? If I miss my alarm and wake up late, what does it say? Not that I ever would do that. No, that's no. Do I even bother going? So what do you think?
I think it depends on the time of year, for one, but I also think that for me, I'm kind of like a bass with feeding. I'm very opportunistic. If I can go fishing, I kind of just take it when I can go, kind of thing. It's very rare for me to be able to like plan the trip and be like, okay, I'm going to go for these specific hours. So I kind of just work it in when I can. Fish will always bite. So from my perspective, there's no wrong time to go fishing. There's better windows depending on the season. And generally speaking, from my perspective, it's during the colder seasons, it's the heat of the day. During the hotter seasons, it's the cooler parts of the day. Just that's a fair rule of thumb, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously don't go fishing early in the morning. I go out, and it's also about where you go. Like, I think the smaller the body of water, the better like the middle of the day is. Bigger the body of the water, the more it gets affected by the weather, time of day, shade lines, things like that. So it's also, if you're just trying to go out and catch some fish, and then, I mean, in the wintertime, I don't even go out when it's like maybe it's 30 degrees in the morning. I'm like, I'm going to wait till it warms up to like 40.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go out there and I I might catch all kinds of crappie or panfish or whatever off the bank, or bass. So there is something to that at certain times. But this is something I've been doing a lot of tournaments, and not yet in all the tournaments I fish have I been able to get on a morning bite where I catch like a flurry of fish in the morning, and then it like shuts off. I almost always catch my best fish just in the middle of the day, just out fishing. It just comes somewhere during the middle of the day, just boom, you get a big one.
So the moral of the story is just go fishing. Don't overthink it. Fish when you can fish.
You know what? This is something that I was thinking about recently. Ethan, I wonder if you agree. Some of my best days, when I go back and look throughout like years, and I'm thinking of days, a lot of my best days of fishing are horrible days to go out, because I go out and I'm always trying to plan the perfect weather, the perfect time. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be nice. And so many times it's a bad day of fishing, or it's like a really slow day. Then there's like this nasty day where you're like either a tournament or we already decided to go, and I'm like, should we even do this? Ends up being amazing, like so many more times than the nice days.
I don't know. I feel like I have no consistent track record. It's like some of my best days are like in the spring and it's beautiful, but then I've also got days where it's like raining and they're just destroying anything. And so it's like, I'm gonna stick with my moral of the story here. Just go fishing.
I think that's the best thing. Just when you have time to do it. And the more I think I learn about fishing, really, the more I realize I don't know. I'm learning something new every time. And so don't try to like solve it. Just go out and have fun, figure things out. But obviously we're getting into October here. Like I said, this is episode 20. We're coming up on a 2-year of doing the Whatever's Biting podcast. And I guess we had mentioned something about doing a meetup. We haven't done one yet, but if this grows to where the demand is too much, we might have to have like some kind of meetup someday. Somebody from Atlanta, Georgia said, yes, would love to do a meetup. I guess we talked about it at some point. I don't even remember.
I can't remember what all we talk about, especially when we haven't talked for like a month and a half or 2 months or whatever. So
I know a lot of people, if you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and I've already posted a couple of videos, that we went out fishing. I went up to Michigan, met up with Ethan. We fished 2 days pretty hard, and I made 2 videos from the second day, posted those. I don't even know if I'm going to make a video from the first day, even though that was the more memorable day. But it's like, it's a lot more to edit.
It's going to be a lot to edit because there was a lot of slow fishing, folks. And but it was fun. Still fun.
We got to share some. So let's share some behind the scenes things and some things that maybe they didn't see in the video. But Ethan, you will have some videos coming out pretty soon from that.
Yeah, I think I'll probably have about 3 or 4 videos, and I just I'm getting almost to the point of editing those. So I had one video go today that was from a while back, and then I have a couple other things in the works. So apologies for the fact that my videos don't get out there like within the same week of fishing. It used to be a lot closer to the date of fishing back when I did YouTube a couple of years ago. But now these days there's just a big gap, and so just a little bit of a behind the scenes for all of you is like when you see my video, chances are it was about a month ago, sometimes even more, which is not ideal, but it's just kind of the stage of life I'm in. And just, between running mule and having a job and all the kids and all that, it's just hard to get the videos out in a timely manner. So hopefully I can play catch up this winter, and maybe next year will be a little faster. But yeah, as far as our trip goes, I mean, do we want to talk about day one and just kind of talk about?
Let's just talk from the beginning and we'll work our way through it, like how we did things, how things, went, I guess. And so day one, we meet up at an old spot we met before.
Yep.
And we decided to go out towards where were we going?
We were going towards Lake Michigan. So we met on a lake that is attached to a river, and you can either go up the river, and it's a lot of backwaters and interesting fish that you can get into, or you can go kind of down the river into the lake. And then ultimately that lake is connected to Lake Michigan. And so you can make your way out to Lake Michigan. And that's a pretty common thing here on the west side of the state in Michigan. There's a lot of different lakes that are very similar to this. And I had never adventured towards Lake Michigan. So I'm like, hey, I mean, John likes a good adventure. It's not always about the fish you catch. It's kind of about the memories you make. And and trying new things. And so I was like, John, I can't promise anything. I think the fishing will be good, but I don't know. This is going to be new for me. So we go out and we spent a lot of time fishing. We kind of just made our way all the way out to Lake Michigan. We ended up on Lake Michigan, which was a little sketchy, but it was actually worse than the fact that it was like, a little bit of waves and whatnot. There was like a billion flies.
It was horrible.
Dude, there was like how many? I mean, just swarming us.
Yeah.
Biting us.
You were looking at the back. I was looking at the back of your kayak, and there had to be like 500 flies just laying on the kayak, and just
disgusting.
And they were like biting like crazy. It was like as soon as we got to the out of the inlet area to the lake, it was just like bite. And then the waves, like a boat would come by, and it would be like, "Ooh, these big old waves." So I didn't feel very comfortable at all. As soon as we got out there, I was like, "This is kind of sketchy."
Yeah,
the water was
catch anything out there.
Crystal clear. I had 2 bites. Have no idea what they were.
Yeah.
On the swim bait, but like I thought for sure we'd catch something, and we were like fished there for like 10 minutes. We're like, let's go back. That was enough of that.
And I mean, you caught a fish or 2 on the way out that direction, and I caught like one nice largemouth.
Yeah,
and that'll be in the video whenever I get around to getting out there. But we ended up saying, you know what, we're going to go back the opposite direction. We went up the river, and mind you, John has a motor on his kayak. I'm pedaling. I was exhausted by the end of the day. I mean, we had a full day on the water, and we covered miles upon miles. We did end up catching, a good amount of like pretty nice bluegill and even some nice crappie as well. So it's not like it was a total loss. But it definitely didn't go as planned. I still had a blast. It was a fun experience, but man, we worked our tail off out there.
Yeah, you were working a lot harder. I was running around the motor and just kind of cruising around. But on the way coming back in, we got up into like some shallow water, and I got to reach my paddle, and my paddle was gone. So somewhere up there in Michigan, there was a paddle floating around, I guess. Hope somebody finds it, because I went back and looked for it, couldn't find it. Lost a paddle. Didn't find any pike. That was like I was like, I want to catch some pike. And last time we caught a bunch of pike there.
I can't believe we didn't catch a pike.
I don't even remember getting a hit from a pike, which is weird. I caught some largemouth on spinnerbait, and then we started hitting those docks with some ultralight, and then like we could have just stayed there, kept catching fish. We got to one dock where we just kept throwing under. I bet we caught 15 fish a piece out of it. Oh, yeah. It was crazy. We just like moved on. But what's funny is we were catching bluegill, and then we started catching a little bit of crappie, and then we're like, well, we probably got this about tapped out. Then we started catching bigger crappie out of it, like some like 12 and 13 inchers.
They were nice. Yeah.
That was really neat.
Probably hindsight, it's like we should have went up that way to start. I just felt like with you being out here like 3 years prior and we had already done it, I wanted to give you a new experience, and you live and you learn. And folks, I feel like, John always says this, I say it as well, is half the fun to me is exploring, trying new things. And like the only way to learn is to get out there and put yourself in those positions. And, maybe when you have a fishing buddy in town, it's not the best time to do it, but I knew he would be up for it. And so it wasn't a total loss. It was still a good time. And there's probably times of year where we could go out and do the exact same thing, and it would have been really good. So I'm not going to count it out by any means, but definitely not going to be doing that again anytime soon, because that was enough pedaling for.
You got to get a motor to do that. But that goes with the same, like the guy that asked the question, like, what's the best time of the day? It's like asking the question, where's the best place to go? And if you just don't go explore, you never know. And you also don't open yourself up for like amazing days. If you don't, you're going to have some days that didn't work out as well. But if you just go explore, you come across some things that you've never seen before. I never got bit by flies like that before. I never been out in the Great Lakes at all. So that was crazy. We were looking like 25 foot down, it was straight clear.
I think that had we committed, like if we would have committed to any one thing, we probably would have had more success. I think we just tried to do a lot and it just didn't work. Like I think we could have caught fish on Lake Michigan, but I don't think that was probably. I'm not going to go out and explore that too much in a kayak. We were being safe, right? We were totally fine, but we were being safe. And then like, as far as up, like there probably were pike in the backwaters that we could have caught had we given them more time, but we kind of ran out of time. So, that's just how fishing goes. We could have done that the next day and caught every single species and caught 50 fish a piece. You just never know.
Yeah. Well, we obviously we were like, let's day 2. We're trying to decide what to do, and we kind of just went back to this place that we'd been before. I was like, well, that was a fun place. We went like was 2 years ago or whatever it was, and I was let's just go back there, and that was a learning experience for me. So it's like a spillway, like a shallow style river, and like I look over at Ethan, he's on one side, I'm on the other side. He's already caught like 5 fish. By the time I've got to my side, I'm like, what is he doing? I catch a pike on a chatterbait, and I'm throwing this little micro chatterbait around, the one I've been talking about all the time, and I can't catch anything. Meanwhile, Ethan's over here wearing them out, and I didn't catch anything until he gave me one of his lures. And you talk about that lure a lot. But,
I
stocked up.
Yeah, man. That was one of my main show and tells. I restocked. It's the Kitech mono spin jig, and then I put one of my. You guys know I obviously own Mule Fishing. I put the burrow bug on the back of it, and the burrow bug is like a 1.8 inch crawdad profile. It's really small, but it fits this little this little skirted jig just perfectly. It's a 3/32 ounce jig. It is so fun on a BFS setup. It's like, to me, it's a match made in heaven, right? Like, it is literally perfect for like BFS fishing. And yeah, I mean, those small crayfish profile, like the fish just couldn't resist it. I think they eat a lot of crawdads, and yeah, I'm glad you put the one that I gave you to use.
I was 100% confident I was just going to go in there and wear them out with the lure I had, and I got to sneeze. Oh, I got to sneeze.
Oh no. Okay, we're not going to do a sneeze. Mute yourself.
No, it went away. Okay, we're back. I don't know what happened. I got to find my mute button. Anyhow, so yeah, so I switch. He gives me a lure. I start throwing it. I start catching fish like right off the bat because they just wanted it on the bottom. Like they wouldn't pick it up till it was sitting on the bottom. Yeah, the Kitech. What's it called again? Mono spin jig.
Mono spin jig.
It's a tiny little lure, but man, where area we were at had a ton of little smallies, rock bass, and some largemouth. And I threw it on a BFS rod, which you could throw that on a spinning or ultralight rod, or really easily if you want to use it on that. But it was amazing how night and day difference. They wouldn't hit this, but that little lure, boom, they were just picking it up. It's just one after another. Yeah. And we fished some of that. That was really cool. But I caught a little pike, so I was really excited to catch a little pike. Since I didn't catch one the day before. So I caught one under the spillway there. Hit the little chatterbait.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad we did that. I think like we both kind of just, we were talking through it and we're like, I don't think I wanted to say it. And so John said it first. He's like, we don't need to get in the kayaks. I'm like, thank you. I don't want to. I pedaled so much the day one. So we're like, all right, we'll go wading and like, just like walk and do like the bank / wading. And I'm so glad we did, because man, it was night and day different. I mean, was there a lot of quality that day? No, but we caught so many fish between like that morning session and that middle of the day session. That lit a fire. And that was actually the last time I went fishing. So it was since then, I did the same type of thing in a different area that I'd never been to before. And I had some success. I caught some actually decent smallmouth.
Yeah.
So that video actually will come out pretty soon too. But yeah, dude, the BFS fishing, just like wading with the BFS, catching those smaller fish that are just in large populations, man, that is fun. I had so much fun doing that.
Well, you caught a new species, didn't you?
Yeah, I need to get the video out. But I had caught shiner, and I don't know if it's a kind that I've caught before. It didn't look like a golden shiner, so I don't know. Is there like a striped shiner or something? But it was so weird because what's that bait called? The Megabass Karashi or whatever?
Karashi, yeah.
Yeah, you had put me on that and said like, oh, you got to use this, and I'm trying it, and I kept catching shiners on it. So just totally blew my mind.
That was another weird, like, we went to a different area. It was kind of similar, and there was like thousands of suckers swimming around. There was all kinds of little smallmouth, and I start with a chatterbait again. Can't catch nothing. They're not biting it. I'm like, there's so many fish. Like every cast, you're throwing it by a fish. So I switched to the Rebel Crawl, and I catch like 3 fish in a row. And I just stayed with that. And that's another one. You can, I had a BFS rod, so you can kind of throw little crankbaits like that. And then it was so funny because you started throwing the Karashi, and you just kept catching shiners. maybe like one
Weird.
smallie. I think it was like those fish were so picky at what they wanted to eat.
Yeah.
And we waited an area. I caught a ton of fish. That was a blast. That for me, that was like some of the just most fun fishing. I don't think I caught anything over 12 inches, but I probably caught 25.
Yeah,
So
I honestly can't believe we didn't run into more sizable fish because I feel like they're there, but we were kind of talking. It's like, where do they go? Like, where are those fish now? Like, there's no doubt in my mind throughout the year, any given time, you could go there and you would mix in some sizable fish. So I don't know if it was just we didn't look upon any. I feel like if they were around us, we would have caught some. So I don't know. They must have vacated the area.
well, I did you hear from anybody about that area?
Oh yeah. You're talking about the
Brian?
yeah, Brian had went out with I think it was his brother, and they did a guided trip in the same general vicinity, and they caught a lot of quality fish. I just wonder if
I
they
know.
must have been a different section.
It was so
Of the
funny because
river.
we got back and then I get an email after I make my video, and it was a guy that he comments all the time. Appreciate Brian
Yeah,
watching the
thanks, Brian.
channel, and I think he follows about everything we do. And he sent me some pictures of some like really nice smallies where they put in where we went upstream, they went downstream. So now
Oh, really?
that's what he told me. I think they floated. I thought he said they went downstream.
Okay.
Anyways, when I go back, and I will be back to Michigan, we're going back to that same spot, and we're going to float that section downstream in a
Yeah, we got to
kayak
get that.
because
Yeah, for
it's like a
sure.
nice flowing river, shallow. On a kayak, it would be effortless. You just flow with the current, and then you step out wherever you want to. So, and that was a new place
Deal.
that you had never fished. So we went actually exploring to find that place. And that's where, to me, whenever I go exploring, it always leads to one, to another one, to another one. It just exploring doesn't stop. It just keeps on leading you to new places to go, and that's
Yeah.
what's fun about it. It's like, oh, well, now I found something new. Oh, I didn't know this creek ran in here. So, love it.
Yeah. Sorry, I got.
But yeah, I want to go back and fish that area again. I feel like there's a lot more bigger fish that we could like kind of try and target and just see what happens.
100%. 100% agree. And that's the bummer of fishing solo for me is and not having the means to do the floats. That is a huge piece of the Michigan fishing scene that I'm totally missing out on is proper floats. Like that. And that's actually the spot that I discovered the other day that I just can't believe I'd never fished it before because it's not that far from me. And I was playing around with like my Kestrel. Cast King sent me a new Kestrel rod and reel. So that's been fun. That was what I was testing out. But I just realized I'm like, my gosh, that would be like I had discovered another great spot to float. So the next time you come up, we'll do the float where you want to. We'll do the float on this too if it's still decent, and I'll check it before you get up so we don't set ourselves up for failure. But I think it would just be so much fun. But again, that's just having buddies and like multiple vehicles makes a huge difference with regards to like getting a proper float organized.
Yeah, that one, even with the motor, you wouldn't be able to run up it because it was like someone's grass and stuff.
It's so
But
shallow
the
too. You need the
little
right
section we
setup.
chose was like perfect though. It was like it's just really neat.
Yeah, for sure.
But all right, well that's enough. I guess we've covered about everything from the Michigan trip. We'll be looking forward to Ethan's videos. If you haven't seen my videos on them, they're pretty easy to find. It was a couple days there. They're pretty action packed, and maybe another video coming. I may edit it later on this year, but so I guess we got to get to like we've kind of covered a little bit, but I haven't talked about mine. It's like, what's the last thing we caught, and what did we catch it on? And I actually hadn't even thought about this because did I fish yesterday? No. When did I fish last? Oh, yeah, the last fish I caught was I didn't catch it. I lost one. So I actually went out and fished it with a guy, and I kind of ran over and met up with him. I knew he was gonna be fishing this area, and he gave me a rod and gave me a big old live shad. So I threw it out there. I had like a 5.5 pound bass on. I watched it eat the shad on camera. It like just explodes on. It was really cool. And I'm messing around with it trying to video, and it runs into another line and pops off.
Ugh.
So before that, I don't know what I fished last. I've been on several fishing trips where some were like I caught a muskie, and then I fished 2 more days for a muskie, didn't catch any. So I caught one muskie out of 3 days of fishing. That was like last week. I'm working on that video now. I can't even remember what the last thing I caught was.
This is a rare situation for you to not be able to remember the last fish you caught, because usually you caught your last fish like 5 minutes before we start the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
I always remember mine because there's like 4 fish, and it's hard to nothing blends together. There's very few fish to think about.
My last fishing trip that I did really good though was fishing with a little buzzbait, and we talked about this last year. So last year I did the exact same thing last year, and I talked to you about buzzbait fishing. Well, this time I went with a BFS rod. It was just a medium light on a BFS reel, the Abu Garcia Revo X reel, and a 6'4" medium light rod. And I threw the Booyah Pond Magic buzzbait. It's a 1/8 ounce. I caught at least 15 bass in like a half-mile stretch. It's just a section that gets loaded. I've now got it down like to every fall. I just go there, and they're thick. They're 13, 14, 15 inches, thick largemouth, and they just are crushing topwater. It's just like it's just an incredible, like when it happens. It's like just the right, because I go through there in the spring, summer, might catch a few fish, but I never catch this many. And what I've learned, I think those fish move out, because it's the last section right before you can connect to a river. I think they get big and they eat, and then they, like, say a rain comes or something, they just flush on out during the winter. Because the next spring, I never catch any good ones. You think that if they were there, they'd be even bigger. I'd be catching like
run up the creeks in the fall to feed, and then they venture back out to deeper water somewhere else. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had already kind of mentioned the last fish I'd caught, but yeah, I was testing out I got a medium light BFS finally. And casting, they sent me like the 7'2" medium light, which was the one I was hoping to try out.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one.
And nice rod. And I had actually caught the 3 smallmouth I caught. I didn't catch a ton of fish. I just caught 3, but they were all quality. The 2 of them were like pretty solid. And I caught them on the 1/8 ounce, like little EWG jig head with the bluegrass bug, which I know you use a lot. And I kind of haven't loved throwing those EWG jig heads on like spinning setups, but I loved it on this medium light BFS rod. It feels right. I don't know. And I think part of that is the fact that I use a leader on my spinning rod, and I always get nervous that I'm like break off my leader because of like the hook set and stuff, where I was using just straight 8-pound fluoro, and everything felt better. So I still have to play around with that rig more. That's like your rig. It's just one I need to gain more confidence in. I always get nervous I'm going to break my line somehow. So
yeah.
But it worked well. The smallmouth just gobbled it up.
Yeah. How do you like that 7.2? Is it too long, or does it feel good? Can you really throw it?
It's a little tip heavy. Just being honest. Like, I'm not, I think Cast King makes really good products. Actually, I think if you had asked me that 10 years ago, I would have been like, I wouldn't have probably even tried them. But now their product quality is pretty solid. I love the reel. The Kestrel is really nice. The 7'2" is just a little heavy on the tip, or like just tip heavy. It's just the balance doesn't feel quite right. I think that any of the 6.5 foot rods, they're probably going to be perfect, is my guess. I have a feeling it's just a length thing. But other than that, I mean, like the way it loads, I was able to cast I was mostly throwing 1/8 ounce with 8-pound test. I definitely think you can still throw lighter stuff on it if you wanted to, but that was the sweet spot for me. Like little 8 ounce buzz bait, I threw that around, felt really good. 8 ounce spinnerbait, threw that around, felt really good. And then ultimately the EWG jig is what paid off for me.
Yeah, that's that's where I've been messing around more with the medium lights. I got the 6.4s and I got a 7.1. And if you can get like a medium light, moderate fast, I feel like if you're looking for like just the right rod to kind of throw little bass lures, I feel like that's like the sweet, like just got a little bit of a flex to it, gives a little bit of a give. You can throw little lures if it's on little chatterbaits or little crankbaits. And I'm excited about, like, I got a couple that I want to try in tournaments this winter. We have some tournaments in January and February on lakes, and I want to throw. I may just throw like little bitty swim baits all day, because a lot of times those big bass eat those little bitty baits. Where a lot of times I have trouble catching good fish, but we'll see how that goes. So something new I just got. I can take any suggestions on this. I just got the Tarova kayak motor. It's the Minn Kota front like kayak motor comes with a remote. So I got like a lanyard with a remote on it, and it has like spot lock, but I don't know if I have to have a graph with GPS in it. I don't know if the GPS is in the motor itself.
I think you'll need a graph, my friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because it gives me all the stuff to connect to your graph. I'm like, I don't have any electronics, but either way, it still works. I'm waiting on a part to come in tomorrow so I can finally make the last connections. I'm rigging it up where I can run the battery in the back, and I can just easily connect it to like an Anderson plug in the front. So I'll be taking out my Old Town PDL Pro with that motor pretty soon. But what I was thinking is, like, for fall crappie fishing, dude, that might be like the perfect setup. Like, it's like a little bit bigger kayak. I kind of sit in the spots I want to sit. I can move around a little bit and I can just kind of hover around little areas. I'm like, man, I may just do some, like, really target some crappie instead of usually fishing the banks. Just like get off and like really look around. If I get some graphs or something, I might help.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna get electronics. He's changed. He's a changed man. He got a nice fancy motor. Now he wants a graph. And I'll tell you what, that is, to me, I'm not a big like electronics. Like, I don't have the forward facing. I don't do all that. I just have like a very simple graph. You know, I want the map just solely so I can know what the layout is, and I want the depth. It's just that simple. So I can see like fish or whatever, fish schools. Like, so I think you get by with cheaper electronics for sure. But for crappie fishing specifically, that's where, to me, like the offshore crappie fishing, I don't know how people would really ever catch loads of crappie consistently without like electronics. Again, I'm saying that from like a basic electronic standpoint. I don't think you need necessarily the forward facing sonar, but I think you would have a ton of fun, and that just makes me excited. I want to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun right now. I haven't done that in a while.
I feel like I've built up my kayak arsenal enough to where I have a kayak for everything. Like, I've had this Old Town.
You have a crappie kayak.
I got a designated crappie kayak.
Oh
but
my
I was
gosh.
thinking like maybe catfishing off of it, like, and I also have an idea to do like live bait fishing off of it, because it's a bigger kayak where I can hold more stuff on it. And if the motor's up there out of the way, I don't have to put my pedal drive there. So I have like all this more room, and I want to get some live bait and like sit in the current maybe on these rivers and just like hit some spots. So I don't know.
This is my live bait kayak. This is my artificial kayak.
But I have like a big river kayak now, and I have a small river kayak.
Oh my gosh.
This one's like my lake kayak and other stuff. So, but I haven't been out on it in like, it's been like a month and a half since I've used it.
I think it's great. I think it's easy for people to hear this and be like, oh my gosh, it must be not, you know, it's like, this is his living, like, you know, and he has the opportunity to play around and try different rigs. And that gives you the opportunity to better understand those types of rigs so you can buy something in a more educated manner. So it really makes sense. And even though it is funny to be like, this is my crappie kayak. Yeah. Like this, it's great. It's so cool that you're a resource so that people can see and know with a better idea of like, hey, I've only got $2,000. Like I want my $2,000 to work as hard for me as possible. Like people don't want to have to buy a new kayak every 6 months. And so you're a great resource for that. So all jokes aside, it is really cool that you've become like just a total kayak expert.
Yeah, I was just talking to another guy the other day. I was like, I never saw myself becoming like a kayak channel, which I still consider myself like a multi-species channel, but I do a lot of kayaking. But it's all about, to me, it's always been about exploration. And it's really not it's catching different fish, but it's exploring. And kayaks let you explore more. You know, I mean, obviously a boat would let you explore more. I'm sure I'll get a boat someday whenever I'm ready.
But you're a creek fishing adventure. You're a small water guy. A kayak is absolutely like the best proper adventure fishing rig.
Yeah, like if you watch my last video, I just posted it. I went 5 miles up this river because I've been wanting to check it out for a long time. So there's like a ramp, and there's a river that runs into another river. So I put in, and that's the only access. There's no access for 30 miles on this river other than where it runs into this river. I went up this river. It was totally different than I expected. I had no idea what to expect on it. And then I get 4 miles up it. I'm using the motor, working my way up. I catch a 19-inch spotted bass, an 18-inch spotted bass, and a 15-inch spotted bass all in one little section where there was a transition. And it was so, and then somebody's like, you went too fast. You were passing a lot of river. I'm like, yeah, I was, because I was trying to like see it and learn it, and, you know. But it's funny because I actually had a comment. I think it was today. I looked at it. It said, "Must be nice getting a free kayak." I was like, "Yeah, 9 years of having a YouTube channel
That's the
allowed me to have
thing.
this. That's
Yeah,
how
I mean,
free it is."
think about a bonus at work. Oh, it must be
Yeah,
nice. You got a bonus. It's like, yeah, but I worked for like a whole
right.
year.
Yeah,
I worked for 10 years. I've worked for 20 years. Like, so it's not,
I should be like,
don't,
"Yeah, go make 1,000 videos and you can get a free kayak
yeah.
too."
Yeah.
It's so
So
easy.
try to open up your perspective for sure. I mean, it's harder to do that when you've never done it, but like try to make a YouTube channel. It's a ton of work to stand one up over time like this. You have put,
Oh,
I'm sure, thousands and thousands of hours
oh,
into
yeah.
editing alone, kind of thing. So, hey, there's the
Yeah,
fruits of your labor, my friends.
yeah.
I am happy that you get as many kayaks as you do. If you
And
want to pass a
I'm
couple down
enjoying
to
it.
me, feel
Yeah.
free.
Okay. And some of them I buy myself. I'm so addicted to it. I just want to try them all. But before we get into fall fishing, so this is October. It's going to start cool. Some people's already cooling down. This week for me, tomorrow is going to be 44, I think, in the morning.
Wow.
And I'm
Okay.
meeting a guy to go float a river. So I'm trying to get it's a guy from church, and we've been talking about doing this. I'm like, dude, if we don't get this done, it's going to get really cold. We need to go float this where in case we have to step out or whatever, it's not going to be too cold. But before we talk about that, get some ideas ready. First, there's been an alert. We got an alert here. There's a new state record in Kentucky, a river chub. Congratulations to Joe Johnson, who officially set a new Kentucky state record. Joe landed this 7.9 inch, 0.16 pound river chub. I won't say where it's at, just in case he doesn't want to say. Well, it's in the newspaper.
If it's on a newspaper.
Middle Fork Red River.
All right, let's go. Me and you, we're
going
gonna
over
go
to break the record.
we're
That's the only
going
place
to
you can do it.
Kentucky. All we got to catch is a 7.5 incher, bro. We got this.
No, we need an 8. We got to have 8 inches to be longer.
All right, let's do it.
Over 0.16 pounds.
That's so funny. Hey, that's sweet though. The fact that he actually you know what? I think this is a trophy.
He must have been targeting because he was using a
Yeah.
fly rod and a zebra midge.
Oh man.
And he caught it at 10:45. So chubs bite the best at 10:45 in the morning.
There you go. There's your answer. That's awesome though. I mean, I think it's so cool when the records are set on unique species that nobody really thinks to target. And then I like a good article on that. So congrats, Joe. And
oh, he did. Oh man, he did. So this guy does. He actually used to hold the state record for striped shiner.
Oh man, maybe this is my calling, dude.
Maybe yours was a state record for Michigan. Sometimes people don't even some of those species that haven't even been measured yet or weighed.
I that's what I should do in the future. Maybe a series I can do is I need to find the most obscure species that has a record that's doable, and I need to just go for it. That should be my whole life goal, and just ultralight.
You dedicate a year to breaking a record,
like a creek chub. It's there's probably some beatable records out there. Creek chub a lot of people fish for them. Just I think as bait and stuff. So that one might not be a good one, but a striped shiner.
Chub. I don't know if it's different than a creek chub. I think they are.
Yeah, there's a handful of different species.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Joe. That's the kind of stuff we like to see. If you ever listen to this channel, appreciate it.
We need to have him on.
Yeah, I know. I was talk about break down the catch. Well, I cast it over here. Now, I'm sure he put way more thought into it than people think. I'm sure he's got an area because it looks like he targeted it. And he's using a fly rod, a real small lure to get those little chubs to bite. And if you're using something bigger, a chub might not be able to grab it. You might be catching other fish instead of it. There could be all kinds of things. Maybe we should have somebody that's broken a record come on and see how they can, especially if it's a tiny thing. Because by me, there's one I did a video about it 2 or 3 years ago. It was what record was it? Not red ear. It was some kind of sunfish that the record was a quarter pound or something like that. It's something real small too. But I'm how do you even weigh that? You have to catch it and go get it weighed on an official scale, and hopefully it's
an orange spotted sunfish or whatever they're called.
I think it was something like that. Yeah,
one of those real smaller ones. Yeah, there's some of those don't get very big. Yeah, I don't even know. I guess I'm gonna have to find out when my journey to become whatever, the stripe shiner Michigan state record holder.
Send Ethan some suggestions of what record he should break. That's what we want to know.
Yes. Hey, anyone
go
in
after
Michigan
this.
specifically, like, go look at the website. Tell me which one's the best, and let's commit to it. Let's do this thing, because I want to be able to say I'm a state record holder. Oh, what? Like you guys won like the state record and the 1500 meter or something? No. I'm a state record holder for the biggest striped shiner in Michigan. Like, no one cares.
Not the regular shiner. Don't be confusing that with
the golden shiner. No, I would never have held that title. That's way too hard.
I wouldn't want that. So another record that was broken in Tennessee that was just verified. It was caught last year, and Caleb Bell, actually a buddy of mine that he guides for around the area. He caught a new state record for Alabama bass, and it was 7 pounds 3 ounces, just verified last week. People were sending me messages like, "Dude, did you see this?" Like, yeah, no, I've been holding on to that. Like, he told me about it like whenever it happened, but like they were just waiting for like DNA from Auburn to come back, because Alabama bass is a big thing here, where they've like really taken over some river systems in Tennessee and in North Carolina and a lot of other places where they used to not be, but they've just completely taken over, and that's like all you catch there. And they're getting like huge. They're getting bigger and bigger, which is like it's like neat, but it's also like a problem at the same time.
Sure.
So I'm not sure what they're going to do about it, but the state told them to just throw it back. He's like, nothing you can do now. This river and system is like totally taken over. So it's not like you can start taking them out. I don't think it's going to do anything. But anyhow,
you might as well turn the huge ones back and then just harvest the heck out of smaller ones.
Just start catching all the little ones, get them out of there. just trying to grow them. But that's pretty cool. Yeah, Caleb's a good guy, and that was caught on live bait. And he always says that because he fishes a lot with live bait guides and stuff. And he always says there should be like a records for live bait catches and artificial lure catches. And I think that would be it'd be a little more work for them to do, but I think it'd give more people a chance on like lures. Like, oh, I can catch a big fish on a lure.
It is interesting.
Live bait, you can get those bigger ones. They'll be way easier than you can on artificial lures.
Well, and sometimes these like the IGFA like world records, right? Like they're like set by like pound test and stuff like that. They have to verify like that. So I don't really know.
There's certain age ones, like age limit records. There's pound test records. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm gonna have to be combing the internet and figuring out what records I can set, and maybe I can just set a Guinness Book of world record of like longest amount of time fishing for a creek chub or something like that. Like,
It took him 307 hours to catch this fish.
He fished for 48 straight hours specifically for creek chub. No one's ever done that before.
You should do a challenge, 48 hour, one of those 48-hour challenges.
I'm not.
How many creek chubs can I catch in 48 hours? One of them's got to be the state record. And get like a small scale and you start laying them on it, like a male scale. You just lay it on that. Oh yeah, all right. We got just a couple minutes here. We'll end it out. What's our goals for coming up? We just like kind of give ourselves goals. We want to do a live stream, and we're gonna try to do that coming up. We'll do a live stream, maybe promote our channel. Obviously, if you got to this point and you could subscribe to the new YouTube channel, that'd be great. The Whatever's Biting Podcast YouTube channel. It's out there now. But it's getting to fall. It's going to start cooling down. How do you transition? What do you do this time of year? Do you fish differently? Go for different species?
I haven't really thought much of. I've been so on this BFS kick that I feel like that's what I've been most excited to do, is try to catch more smallmouth on BFS. But the reality is the water is getting cooler. I mean, it's definitely cooler now. I'm in Michigan. I'm not in Tennessee, so it's cooling off a little bit more for me. The days are substantially shorter. For me, when it comes to bass, I feel like I love to just throw moving baits and try to catch the aggressive fish. And sometimes this is usually my junk fishing time of year, though. Like, I feel like I end up throwing a lot of different baits, and like sometimes you just have to scrap the original plan and slow down and stuff like that, because it just feels like it's very hit or miss. It's like they're either feeding 100 miles an hour or they're really difficult to find. And so this is like junk fishing season for me. I can't say that there's one specific pattern I use. If I'm starting out, I'm starting with a spinnerbait and stuff like that. And if they're not into it, then I might go down to finesse. But I do love catching, bluegill and stuff as they, even in this time of year, as they start to ease off a little bit, and you can catch them in a little bit deeper water and stuff like that, and catch them offshore. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I think my goal would probably be to get out my kayak at least one more time, because things will just change pretty quick here, and I'm probably not going to be fishing a ton in November. Is the reality.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. We're going to do a river float, and I'm trying to get as much this time of the year river floats as I can, because that's where you can you can have amazing days. For me, it's like it can be on fire. If you get the right days as the water starts to drop a little bit, they can be hitting top water, or like they can be hitting everything, especially a spinnerbait. Like I'm gonna have a spinnerbait ready to go tomorrow. That's my go-to. Usually can catch really good bass on it. But I'll transition. I'll like really start maybe grab my ultralight rod a little bit more than I normally do. Start hitting some little bridges and some little canals, because the bass will be in there eating crappie, bluegill, golden shiners. What's the other things that are in there? Maybe some
white bass
or yellow bass left over in certain areas, where that's some of the fun days, and where you can just catch a lot of stuff. And one of the things I learned about, I think it was last year around this time, was the micro max chatterbait, the 1/16 to 1/8 ounce one. And I think I might throw that for some crappie and like really target, because it like I've been messing around with it, and it like really gets crappie bites. I feel like where
nice.
I'll be throwing just a regular Bobby Garland or regular little minnow, and you might get some fish, but you throw a little bit of extra vibration, about the same size bait, and they kind of commit to it a little bit more. So I like throwing those on just like a regular ultralight rod, 4-pound line. That's usually my setup for that, especially if it's a 1/16 ounce one. You can throw it on a BFS, but most of the time I just like throwing that out like that. So I'll hopefully target a few different species. Also get some topwater fishing in here before it gets too cold.
Right on. Well, definitely we'll try to be better about getting back to you guys in about a month. And then I think November would be a great time for a live stream. So let's look out for some announcements on our Instagrams and stuff like that for the timing. Yep. But we'll try to get something together sometime middle of November, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully you can be there, make some comments. Feel free to comment on the new YouTube channel. We'll see that pretty easily. And maybe you can say you want us to interview somebody or talk to a multi-species person. We'll try to do some more of that and get some more content out there. Anyways, appreciate it. Thanks, Ethan. And thanks to everyone that's been watching or listening to the Whatever's Biting podcast. Hope you can get out there and catch whatever's biting.